Hey there, I'm Lindsay Eccles with the Heather Murphy Group, and today we're going to talk about a few things that will kill your Savannah home sale.
What is the biggest mistake sellers make before they even hit the market?
One of the biggest mistakes that sellers make before even hitting the market is not preparing your home properly and being show ready. We do provide a recommended list of things that you should take care of prior to listing, and while sometimes it is a little overwhelming to take care of all of those items, there is a reason that they are on there, and we are very strategic with the items that we list out for you to take care of.
Why do so many sellers struggle with pricing?
Sellers struggle with pricing because a lot of sellers are still stuck in a 2022 or 2023 mentality, or they know what their neighbor's home sold for 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. Unfortunately, we are no longer in that market and we are leaning more toward a buyer's market. Unfortunately, we are no longer in that market.
What happens when a home is overpriced from day one?
What happens whenever a home is overpriced from day one is a lack of activity. And that lack of activity is an indicator to us that we need to make a strategic move, sometimes more quickly than the seller wants, or sometimes more quickly than we initially thought that we needed to.
How quickly does the market signal that you've missed the mark?
Typically, the market will signal that you've missed the mark on pricing within the first 7 days. If you don't have strong activity out of the gate or repeat showings, offers or talks of offers, then you know that you may have missed the mark.
Let's talk about first impressions. How important are photos and marketing?
You only get the chance for a first impression once. That's why it's called a first impression. It is extremely important to take the checklist that's given, take care of those items, and have your home photo ready.
What are buyers noticing immediately when they scroll through listings?
What buyers are noticing immediately as scrolling through the listings is how well the seller prepared the property, whether it's staged, whether they took the time to make the beds properly, whether they cleaned the carpets, whether they painted the walls. The curb appeal is huge. You only have one chance to make a first impression, and we want those photos and the initial videos to reflect that.
What are some common presentation mistakes sellers make?
Some common mistakes that sellers make with presentation is just not having the home show ready on photo day and for showings. We have some sellers who will, take care of the items, the recommended items, on the front end. We have it show ready. It's good for photos, but then on showing days, we do have to treat those as a photo day as well. We want it to present the same as it is in photos because you don't want to bait and switch.
How much does clutter impact a buyer's perception?
Clutter significantly impacts a buyer's perception. It is very hard for most people who are not spatially aware to envision themselves and their items in your home whenever the home is full of your things. Staging is very different than decorating, so we ask on the front end to kind of streamline some items so that people can see themselves and envision themselves within your home.
What types of repair issues scare buyers away the fastest?
I would say the types of repairs that scare buyers away the fastest are the ones that maybe lead to a bigger issue. So if there's a ceiling stain that maybe you repaired the roof or you repaired the HVAC, from years prior, but you never fixed the ceiling or, repainted over it, they don't know that and they don't have the trust to know that it was taken care of.
Which repairs should homeowners address before listing?
So the repairs that a home buyer should address before listing, a lot of times we look at these as repairs whenever it's actually deferred maintenance. So any deferred maintenance items, whether it's, exterior paint, some wood rot, interior paint, peeling paint, dirty baseboards, things like that, they really make a big impact, and those are the things that 100% need to be addressed before going live.
Are there repairs that sellers often overlook?
One of the repairs that I feel like that sellers often overlook that is on our checklist most of the time is just an interior paint. While not every home needs to be freshly painted on the interior, most of them do. If you've lived there 2 to 5 years, you'd be amazed at what a fresh repaint will do.
How do inspection issues impact negotiations?
I always tell my sellers that the inspection issues are going to come up and we treat it like a second level of negotiating.
How important is accessibility when a home is listed?
Accessibility is huge when a home is listed. In order to get the offers, we have to have activity. And in order to have activity, we have to have accessibility.
What happens when showing requests are constantly declined?
When showing requests are constantly denied, the activity tends to wane, which then leads to price reductions or removal from the market.
Many sellers think putting a home on the MLS is enough. Why isn't that true anymore?
In this market, putting a home on the MLS is no longer enough. We are competing with twice as many homes that are active as we had this week 2 years ago. We have to come out standing tall. We have to be the best one with the best price on the block in order to get it sold.
What separates an average listing launch from a great one?
What separates an average listing launch from a great one is a seller who is willing to do the things. A seller who is willing to get the checklist done in a timely manner and know that we're on the same team and our ultimate goal is to get you to the closing table.
If a homeowner is thinking about selling in the next 6 to 12 months, what's the one thing they should do now?
I would say if you're thinking of selling in the next 6 to 12 months, it's really never too soon to meet with an agent. That way you can go ahead and get that checklist. It's much easier to check the things off of the checklist whenever you have time or whenever time is on your side than it is 2 weeks or 4 weeks ahead, and then you have 2 pages worth of things that need to get done.
What's your biggest piece of advice for Savannah sellers today?
My biggest piece of advice for Savannah sellers today is listen to your agent. I hope this helps, and if you're looking to list your home in Savannah, Georgia, list with Lindsay. I'm here with the Heather Murphy Group.